Right now at 5, thousands of area families will soon see relief for their medical bills.
Plus, roller coaster temperatures and a chance for rain. I'll have all the details.
And the Cherokee County Health Department is helping people in the community sign up for resources like WIC.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Elise Noe.
And I'm Chloe Arroyo. You know, Elise, did you have frost on your windshield this morning?
I did. It's chilly enough out there. It is really, really cold out there this morning.
It's so cold. And you know, I had two choices. I could sit in my car, or I could get out and like scrape it with a card or whatnot.
Oh, sure.
I didn't do that.
No, you
I
just had to wait
sat
it
in
out.
the car. I was like, you know what? 10 minutes with the defroster on.
You warm up too a little bit in your car before you head out.
Exactly, and it was so worth it because by the time I started driving, the car was nice and warm.
Yes,
it was great.
Exactly.
Yeah, allocate a little bit of time this morning, indeed, for you folks if you're heading out early this morning. Those temperatures really cold compared to what we saw yesterday morning. Those temperatures were in the 50s yesterday morning for your commute. We had that rain with us, but now we don't have that. We just have those colder temperatures. So take a look at this on your map. Temperatures right now, we're in the lower 30s. Miami at 32, right at that freezing mark. We're at below freezing for a couple of folks. Parsons specifically at 27, Chanute 29. So we're in that chilly range. Stockton 26 as well. So we're continuing to see those colder temperatures heading out this morning. So as the kiddos are heading out to heading out to the bus this morning for class, keeping that in mind, we'll see those temperatures really begin to stay in the mid to upper 30s this morning. We'll have a couple of clouds here and there, but they'll mainly be increasing occasionally throughout the afternoon and into the evening. So we'll continue to see that. Now for your afternoon, we'll start to see temperatures into the 50s as the kiddos are heading home out of that bus stop today. So we'll start to see those temperatures warm up. That's going to be as a result of southerly winds beginning to flow. And that's going to warm us up nicely into the mid to upper 50s. So your high today, 57 degrees. Again, that southerly wind could gust upwards to 20 miles per hour into the afternoon today. So keeping that in mind, but tomorrow morning is when those when those wind gusts will begin to ramp up upwards of 35 to 40 miles per hour, especially for counties off to the west. And when you have those winds associated with the colder temperatures, that's going to make your feel like temperature a whole lot colder. So our feel like temperatures could be in the low 20s to upper teens in the morning on Wednesday. So coming up in a bit, we're going to talk about those rain chances tonight, as well as more roller coaster temperatures throughout the week and your Christmas Eve rain chances. I'll have all those details coming up.
All right, Chloe, thanks. Well, a judge yesterday sentences a man for a 2023 murder in Galena, Kansas. Billy Barker gets what's called a hard 50 sentence. Now, that's a life sentence without eligibility for parole for 50 years rather than 25. In June, after a 3-day trial, a jury found Barker guilty of fatally shooting 27-year-old Levi Porter in April 2023. They convicted Barker on charges of first-degree murder, being a felon in possession of a firearm, and criminal carrying of a weapon. He was also sentenced to a year for each of the other counts. And now you can stay up to date with the latest news, weather, and sports with the KOAM Plus TV streaming app. It's available on Amazon Fire TV, Android TV, Apple TV Plus, and Roku. The player is also available on our news and weather apps as well as our website. Watch live streaming anytime, absolutely free. The KOAM Plus TV streaming app. Well, thousands of area families are getting relief for their medical bills. The announcement comes from Hope City Church, which has campuses in both Joplin and Northwest Arkansas. Now, the church says it's negotiated to erase $4.2 million in medical debt. Now, for families in Southwest Missouri and Northwest Arkansas this Christmas, the program targets unpayable debt that's too large for someone to overcome on their own due to either the size of the debt or the income of the recipient. Now, the church says this will eliminate all medical debt for more than 3,200 people in our region who fall below a specific financial threshold. Now, the money comes from donations and the church's budget. In a news release, lead pastor Cody Walker says, quote, "Our hope and prayer is that our community would know that they are loved, and we not only want to step in the gap and help with the need, but we are praying that this would be an answer to prayer for over 3,200 families who will receive their medical debt abolished this Christmas," end quote. Now, you'll find more information on this story on KOAMnewsnow.com. Well, bicyclists are gearing up for some new rides as 4 new routes are set to roll out across the 4-state area. Now, these additions are part of a national effort to expand the United States bicycle route system, a network designed to connect cyclists with safe designated routes across the country. The new paths will stretch through Indiana, Missouri, and 2 fresh routes in Kansas. For cyclists in Joplin, this means a new passage all the way to Arkansas.
Bicycle tourism is a big part of what we do. We established Bike Route 66 back in 2018, and people do traverse that throughout the season. And we're talking about people who are doing multiple day, multi-city traveling across the states, and they will hit many, many locations across a state or across a region. And BR 66 has been very profitable for us as far as folks traveling that.
This will be the most added mileage in any year, totaling 50,000 miles of routes available. Well, an outreach clinic in Galena is helping people get the resources they need. KOAM's Melissa Alexis introduces us to a woman who's been impacted by these programs.
It helped me know that I wasn't alone.
Hannah Hendry is a family advocate coordinator for the SEK Community Action Program. But she was once a new mom in need of assistance.
I didn't know what tomorrow would look like, and if that meant I would go without, I was fine knowing that my kids wouldn't.
She says at first she didn't feel confident about asking for the help she needed.
Scared or intimidated at first to go into these offices to ask for assistance because I thought that meant I was weak.
But when she decided to get help, she applied for WIC, food assistance, and child care subsidies.
To get our feet on the solid foundation.
She says these programs helped her budget and eased stress.
That really helped my family get on the right path towards financial liberation.
Now she, along with other organizations, helps host outreach clinics to encourage others in need to reach out for help.
They don't even have to bring anything with them. An ID is about as much as they ask for. You can come in, do a 10 to 15 minute process, and then you'll know today, yes, you're qualified for the presumptive or not.
They're helping people with applications for WIC and for KanCare Medicaid. WIC aims to help moms and families meet their nutritional health needs.
The formula and the milk and the eggs, it was really expensive, especially when you have multiple children and maybe they're twins or they're like back to back.
The outreach clinic will also fax the necessary documents for an individual's KanCare Medicaid application.
Now here I am 9 years later, and I'm able to put back into the community that put into me.
Reporting in Galena, Melissa Alexis, KOAM News.
Well, to learn more about the next outreach clinic, you can visit our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes, coming up on the KOAM Morning News. Baxter Springs basketball hosts New Heights for its home opener. We'll have the details. Plus, bakers compete in Stockholm's annual Gingerbread House contest with visitors lined up to take a look at the entries. And we have a warmer and cloudy day today. We'll have what to expect with Chloe Arroyo in the Sky Watch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. New Heights Christian Academy basketball is off to a solid start to the 2024-25 season. Both the Cougars boys and girls teams just took first place in the MoKan Winter Classic last week. Last night, they were back in action over at Baxter Springs. Baxter Springs girls basketball at home for the first time this year, playing host to New Heights Christian Academy. Now, early first quarter, Chesney Billings finds Chloe Turley, who fades away and hits a jump shot, and that ties the game at 2. But last night would belong to the Cougars off a missed three-point attempt. Evangel commit Libby Fanning goes to work, getting an offensive rebound and going up strong for two. Later in the first, Julie Sanchez pokes the ball free. That starts a fast break, and Allie Stout lays it in. New Heights leads by 8. Second quarter, Fanning tries her luck from deep, and that's good. That stretches the lead back to 8. And before the half, Cougars work it around the perimeter, and Ava Lett is nothing but net on this three-pointer. Cougars run away with it in the second half. They handle Baxter Springs 63-22 on the road. Baxter Springs boys basketball plays its home opener against New Heights, who went to the Missouri Classic 2 quarterfinals last spring. The first 2 points of the night belong to the Lions after Jacob Grant elevates and touches home the alley-oop, and a couple minutes later, Grant again. This time he powers home a two-handed slam. Cougars settling in. Now check out this give and go from Ben Schumacher to Adam Stanton. Back to Schumacher, and great ball movement leads to 2 points. Midway through the first, Briar Simpson left open from beyond the arc, and he drills it. Lions lead by 4. The New Heights has the response, and Stanton long 2 from the top of the key, and that's good. Cougars take a 1-point lead. Final seconds of the quarter, Jaden Smith kicks out the Cannon Miller, and that corner 3 is pure. New Heights goes on to take Lions and gets a victory. Cougars win it 68-49. Well, Pittsburgh State men's basketball is off to a 6-3 start to its 2024-25 season. Now tonight, the Gorillas are back in action after 9 days off, and yesterday, Jeff Brochi's team announces 3 new signees for its 2025 recruiting class. The Gorillas add 3 high school seniors to their squad for next season, starting with EJ Brayland, a 6'1" guard from St. Patrick High School in Chicago. Now he's a 3-time all-conference performer and averages 17 points a game so far this year. Now they also sign Landon Short, a 6'2" guard from Stony Point High School in Texas, who helped lead them to a state runner-up finish a year ago. And Maddox Teeter, a 6'7" forward who's averaging 10 points and 7 rebounds for Farmington High School in Arkansas. Well, closing things out in the NFL, we get a Monday Night Football doubleheader. The Vikings take care of the Bears 30-12. Chicago has now lost 8 in a row after a 4-2 start to the year. And in Vegas, the Falcons take care of the Raiders with a final score of 15-9. Well, still to come, the 2025 U.S. Dietary Advisory Committee is elevating beans as a prominent healthy source of protein. Plus, a check of the 7-day forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns.
Well, welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It's a chilly start to our morning. Our temperature started out below freezing for a lot of the 4 states, and we're still in the lower 30s, upper 20s for a lot of folks. You can see Pittsburgh at 28, Fort Scott 29, as well as Nevada. Joplin just a hair over above freezing right now at 34 degrees. So as the kiddos are heading out this morning, expect chillier weather, 36 degrees in the next couple of hours. We'll have that easterly wind. This afternoon, that's going to change into a southerly wind, and that's going to warm us up nicely into the mid to upper 50s. So around 57 degrees by the time you head home, but we'll still see some increasing clouds this afternoon into this evening to eventually fully cloudy by the time the kiddos head to bed this evening. Now for your afternoon, like I said, we'll have clouds slowly but surely increasing. Really, that southerly wind is going to be with us the entire day through this afternoon. That's allowing us to warm up into the upper 50s, 57 for your high in Joplin. Now your future track shows the exact same path. See those southerly winds right there, and those clouds are going to begin to slowly but surely increase. Then rain chances, we've been talking about it all week. Here's what it's going to look like. Southwestern Missouri, northwestern Arkansas have the greatest chances of seeing some isolated showers here and there. For southeastern Kansas, northeastern Oklahoma, your chances are slim to none at this point. It will mainly be our eastern counties, but even then it will hardly be any accumulation, if at all. After that, that'll leave us with a northerly wind and will be rather chilly on Wednesday morning and will be very windy as well. So our wind gusts today are going to ramp up anywhere from 20 to 25 miles per hour. But once that shifts directions from the north to the south tomorrow morning, our wind gusts, especially off in our western counties, will be anywhere from 35 to 40 miles per hour. So keep that in mind when you have those heavier winds and then the colder temperatures. That's going to make our feel like temperature a whole lot colder. Keep in mind our bodies respond to the feel like temperature and not the actual temperature. So to our bodies and our skin outside, it's going to feel like 19 degrees at Yates Center. Independence 19 degrees as well. Neodache feeling like 20 degrees tomorrow morning. So those further western counties are going to feel a whole lot cooler. Now, big picture, long range forecast, we're going to clear out over the next couple of days. A high pressure system is going to build off to our west. That's going to calm us down over the next couple of days into the weekend. We'll see cooler temperatures on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then next week on Tuesday, Christmas Eve, we'll have another chance for rain. We'll see another system begin to build. And then that will calm down eventually on Wednesday on Christmas Day. But then I'm tracking another chance for rainfall on Thursday, 30% chance for storms. I'll keep it at 30% right now, but I'm still keeping an eye on that. Our models are beginning to shift here and there. So tracking Tuesday for showers and then Thursday of next week for a chance for rain as well. Keep it here with KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back.
Well, topping Health Watch this morning, new research shows that cooking oils could be linked to an increased risk of colon cancer. Researchers at the University of South Florida and Tampa General Hospital looked at more than 160 tumor samples from colon cancer patients. Now, they noticed the tumors contained an excess amount of molecules that cause inflammation, which the study author says, quote, ultimately allows the cancer to grow. Now, he says inflammatory seed oils, ultra-processed foods, sugars, and saturated fats are just some of the culprits that can raise your risk. Researchers say eating healthy, unprocessed foods, getting regular exercise, and sleep can play an important role in trying to reverse inflammation. The study was published in the medical journal Gut. Well, beans are moving up in the latest dietary recommendations. Last week, the 2025 Dietary Advisory Committee released its new scientific guidance for nutrition. Now, beans and their legume cousins, peas and lentils, moved to the top of the protein list, while meat, including lean meat, moved to the bottom. Researchers say beans have fiber and less saturated fat. Beans are also better for the planet because cows generate methane. Now, the advisory committee says, bottom line, a healthy diet should be higher in vegetables, fruit, legumes, nuts, whole grains, fish, and other seafood. They recommend avoiding ultra-processed foods, red and processed meats, salt, saturated fat, refined grains, and sugar-sweetened foods and drinks. Well, starting this week, the U.S. Department of Agriculture begins expanded nationwide testing of raw milk. Now, the program is designed to detect traces of avian influenza H5N1 in dairy cattle. Last month, samples from a California-based farm tested positive for bird flu. Raw milk has also been linked to at least 10 other illnesses in the state. Patrick Cornell explains the risks of drinking raw milk.
Raw milk is simply milk that has not been pasteurized, the process of heating milk to a high temperature, which according to the CDC removes disease-causing germs, yeasts, molds, and other harmful microbes. Contaminated raw milk can carry listeria, salmonella, and the bird flu virus. While some fans of the drink say there are various nutritional benefits, health experts disagree.
Saying that pasteurization is doing anything to decrease the nutritional value of milk is really not based in science.
Instead of pasteurization, raw milk producers monitor the health of the cow to ensure its safety. According to FDA estimates, less than 1% of Americans consume the drink.
This seems to be driven a lot by hype and what we often refer to as the naturalistic fallacy, the idea that because something is somehow more natural, more direct from nature, it is healthier. In this case, this is just really not true.
A foodborne illness from raw milk can cause diarrhea, stomach cramping, and vomiting, according to the CDC. Children under the age of 5, adults over 65, Pregnant people and people with weakened immune systems are at the highest risk of serious illness.
Most people get away with drinking raw milk, like most people get away, driving without a seatbelt in their car. The problem is that sometimes you don't. And when you get in that accident, when you have that infected bottle of milk, you're going to wish it was pasteurized.
For Health Minute, I'm Patrick Cornell.
California, Colorado, Michigan, Mississippi, Oregon, and Pennsylvania will take part in the first round of the new national milk testing strategy. And that's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
Plus, we're tracking roller coaster temperatures and not one, not two, but 3 chances of rain in our future. We'll have all of the details coming up in a bit. Stick around.
Right now at 5:30, a popular Joplin business blooms in a second location.
Plus, we're tracking roller coaster temperatures this week and rain chances ahead. I'll have all the details.
Plus, a couple in Southwest Missouri wants to warn people about an online housing scam.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:30. I'm Elise Snowy.
And I'm Chloe Arroyo. Well, it was so chilly outside this morning, especially the drive.
It certainly is. I know.
It was so cold. It was. I was having a hard time holding the steering wheel. I was holding it from my fingertips because it was so chilly.
You gotta get those gloves.
Get the gloves. I know. I was kicking myself because I didn't have the gloves with me this morning.
At least it's finally feeling a little more like December, though, especially with today being our last Toy Box Tuesday.
Yes.
Of course, we'll be having that telethon at noon, 5, 6, and 9 tonight. So be sure to tune in for that because it's Christmas time and it's finally feeling like it.
It's the season and it won't last much longer. So enjoy it while it's here.
Absolutely.
Yes, very much. So let's get right on to those temperatures. Speaking of, they're feeling like 30s, lower 30s to upper 20s. So here's a look at your current temperatures right now. 28 degrees for Pittsburgh. Fort Scott, you're at 29. Same for Nevada, Stockton, 28 degrees. Monette, you're a little warmer at 37. Cassville at 39 degrees right now. So we're slowly starting to warm up, slowly but surely, into the afternoon. Now, as the kiddos head out to that bus stop this morning, our temperatures are still going to be in the 30s, 36 degrees. We're going to have that easterly wind. Couple of clouds here and there, but that's really going to increase into the afternoon, into the evening. Temperatures in the mid to upper 50s, 57 for your high this afternoon. So keeping that in mind, our clouds are going to slowly start to increase, making us mostly cloudy really after 2 o'clock this afternoon. So yes, our high 57 degrees for Joplin. That southerly wind is the reason why we're warming up so much this afternoon. So we had December-like temperatures this morning, but this afternoon is not really going to be that case. We're going to be a little bit on the warmer side. And heading into tonight, we're going to have those increasing clouds, southerly flow, see some rain showers here and there later on tonight in southwestern Missouri, northwestern Arkansas, anywhere else, especially our further counties off to the west, their chances for rain slim to none. Our wind gusts this afternoon are going to be 15 to 20 miles per hour, but they're really going to pick up into tomorrow. So coming up in a bit, we're going to talk more about the colder temperatures tomorrow, heavier winds tomorrow, as well as the shift in the weather pattern. We got those roller coaster temperatures, as well as your Christmas Eve forecast. We see some rain in the forecast. I'll have all the details coming up.
All right, Chloe, thanks. Well, the Pittsburgh Chamber of Commerce wants to warn residents of an online scam. Now, the scammer has been posting fake links on the Chamber's giveaway post. The Chamber says do not click any suspicious links or provide personal information. The Chamber goes on to say if you should win the giveaway, you will hear directly from the Chamber. And another scam going around, this one in southwest Missouri. A Springfield couple listed their house for sale recently only to be notified by their realtor that they had been scammed out of their money after responding to what turned out to be a fake ad. One real estate agent says don't give a deposit to someone until you've seen the property in person.
And really, there aren't any management companies or rental companies in this area that take deposits without seeing it first. Most of the time, you want to see a property first, whether you're renting or buying. That way you can keep them accountable, they can keep you accountable.
Realtors say beware of marketplaces like Facebook or Craigslist. And if it seems too good to be true, well, it probably is. The party is officially over for Party City in Joplin. The nationally known party supply company closed its doors for the last time this weekend. KOAM's Shannon Becker took one last look at an empty building and empty shelves. Sources say the vacant building is scheduled to become a Five Below in 2025. A popular Joplin business is growing. The Joplin Greenhouse and Coffee Shop will open a second location called Bloom in historic downtown Joplin. And the new location is on 218 South Main Street. It will serve as a streamlined version of the Joplin favorite, but visitors can expect the house-made syrups and house-roasted coffee patrons have come to love. Bloom will open tomorrow. Well, Missouri Southern State University receives a $347,000 grant to tackle the 4 states' nursing shortage. The university's nursing education incentive program is designed to boost the number of nursing graduates and address the shortage of nursing faculty in the Joplin area and rural communities. Over the next 3 years, the funding will help expand the pre-licensure bachelor's in nursing program, create an accelerated graduate nursing degree, and support new faculty positions. The grant will also fund the development of a mentoring network to improve faculty retention and provide advanced training to grow the number of qualified educators. Well, some four-legged friends who made the nice list this year posed for pictures with St. Nick yesterday. The jolly old elf made an appearance at North Park Mall yesterday morning for pet photos. And visitors at the North Park Mall will have some cherished memories, not just for this holiday season, but for years to come. And judging from the look on this pooch's face, someone has been a very good boy this year. Well, revelers gathered in Carthage last night and took off for a fun walk or jog through the Way of Salvation Christmas light display. The event started at the Church of Nazarene parking lot and was free and open to the public. Runners led the way, followed by walkers and bikes. Now, those taking part could choose a 1-mile loop back to the church or a longer route through the historic Carthage Square, with some opting for a detour to sparkle in the park.
I think this is an awesome way for our families to get together and walk through the lights. We never get to get that close up. You know, we can drive through, but walking through is really cool. We're not running, we're just walking. We're sauntering.
Well-behaved dogs were also allowed to join in on the fun, and participants enjoyed cookies and cocoa inside the church afterward. And don't forget, today will be our last Toy Box Tuesday telethon. Volunteers at our phone banks will be taking your calls during our noon, 5, 6, and 9 o'clock shows. Now call in and donate money or brand new toys and make a difference in the lives of some area children. For more information, including where you can drop off toys, just head over to KOAMnewsnow.com/toybox. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. A 7.3 magnitude earthquake hits the Pacific island nation of Vanuatu, causing damage to multiple buildings. Plus, Israeli airstrikes are accelerating through Syria. We'll have the latest. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. Topping World Watch, a competition involving elaborate gingerbread houses took center stage in Stockholm on Sunday. Now, it's an annual event at the city's Arktis Museum, and many entries were based around the theme of comeback, which was chosen by the museum. The entrants range from gingerbread cottages decorated with sweets and icing to a concert by Oasis, which is having a reunion tour next year. Now, visitors lined up to take a look at the entries, and the winners were given medals made of what else other than gingerbread. And one of the bakers said making gingerbread houses is a big Swedish tradition, and people even ask her about the dough she uses to make her houses. Well, a 7.3 earthquake hits the Pacific island nation of Vanuatu earlier today, according to the U.S. Geological Survey. A video shows items falling off shelves at a pharmacy in Port Vila, which is the capital in the island nation. Now, the jolt damaged multiple buildings and was followed by a magnitude 5.5 aftershock. A tsunami warning issued earlier for Vanuatu was canceled after the earthquake. Now, the extent of the damage is not yet known. The island is home to about 330,000 people. Well, Cyclone Gito continued its path of destruction, killing 3 people and injuring dozens more when making landfall in Mozambique Sunday. Now, the people of Mozambique are now picking up the pieces after the Category 4 storm swept through. According to the French Weather Service, it brought strong winds and heavy rain. Drone footage shows the extent of the damage, destroyed homes and classrooms, and uprooted trees. At least 19 people were also killed by the cyclone in the French territory of Mayotte, and an estimated hundreds are injured. Now, the local prefect said it was the worst cyclone to hit Mayotte in 90 years, and southern Africa has been hammered during the cyclone season in recent years. Well, it's no longer safe for Americans to be in Syria. That's the word from the State Department following the fall of the Assad regime. Greg Palkett has more from London.
Israeli airstrikes are escalating throughout Syria, and there are still sporadic clashes taking place more than a week after the fall of the Assad regime. Now the State Department is telling Americans to leave the country, claiming the security situation is deteriorating and there's no way to guarantee the safety of U.S. citizens. But the White House says it's still engaged in Syria. The U.S. is in regular contact with the group currently running the country, and the 900 American troops deployed in Syria will remain to help fight ISIS.
America and our partners have an important stake in helping the Syrian people chart this new path. We know that what happens inside of Syria can have powerful consequences well beyond its borders.
Meanwhile, ousted dictator Bashar al-Assad has released his first message since leaving the country. He claims he didn't want to give up and intended to keep fighting, but he was evacuated to a Russian military base and then sent to Moscow when the base came under attack. Russia is now abandoning some of its smaller bases in Syria and consolidating in the port city of Latakia. The rebels say they don't want to fight with Moscow or Washington, but it's not clear if they're forcing the Russians out or if they're leaving on their own.
We don't have any contact with them. The location of this airport is very important, and we've received orders to be here.
The State Department says that any Americans who need help getting out of Syria should contact U.S. officials immediately.
And that's a look at some of your biggest headlines from around the world. We'll be right back.
Well, welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. We started off our morning relatively chilly. We're in the lower 30s, upper 20s. Some folks are still in a hard freeze, which is lower than 28 degrees. Pittsburgh 28, Fort Scott 28, Chanute. You're at 29 degrees right now. Yates Center, you're also at 28 degrees right now. So our temperatures are still going to be a little chilly as the kiddos are heading off to school this morning. Then we're going to get a southerly flow. That's going to warm us up pretty nicely into the mid to upper 50s this afternoon. 57 for the high here in Joplin. Now planning out your afternoon, we're going to see those clouds begin to increase into the afternoon hours. Really after 2 p.m. and beyond, we'll see more and more clouds begin to build up. Then this evening, we'll be planning this out where 8 p.m. will be mainly cloudy, and then later on tonight, we could see a couple of stray showers here and there. Your low tonight, 37 degrees. So planning that out on your map, here is that southerly flow. You see the clouds beginning to increase, temperatures in the mid to upper 50s right there. Notice these showers, they're really only extending into our further eastern counties in southwestern Missouri and northwestern Arkansas. So really our further western counties aren't going to see much in terms of rainfall tonight, little if at all. So we'll have a northerly wind on the back end of that. So Wednesday morning we'll see some hefty winds. So today we'll have wind gusts upwards of 15 to 20 miles per hour. But as the kiddos are waking up, heading to class tomorrow morning, upwards of 35 to 40 miles per hour. And when you have those hefty winds and colder temperatures, you also feel like temperatures a whole lot colder than the actual temperature. And keep in mind that your body responds to that feel like temperature more than anything. So outside it's going to feel like 20 degrees for you in Neodesha. Yates Center feeling like 19 degrees. Same for Independence and the teens. So it's going to be chilly. So you're going to want to bundle up tomorrow morning. But those cold temperatures aren't going to last long. So throughout the week, we're going to enter into a ridge pattern where we'll see some high pressure push through the central plains and mainly off to our west. That's going to keep us relatively calm over the next couple of days, but we'll see those temperatures staying on the chilly side into this weekend. We're talking our highs in the 40s for Saturday and Sunday. Then we're going to warm up next week. We're talking Christmas Eve. We'll see a chance for rainfall as this trough system begins to push through. And then we're tracking another system even on Thursday, the day after Christmas Eve. So here's a look at your 10-day forecast. We have the chance for showers, very minimal heading into tonight, and then Tuesday of next week is our next chance for showers, a 20% chance, but then I'm going to put 30% for that next storm system that we're tracking. The models aren't fully agreeing on this day quite yet, but it's something to keep an eye out for the day after Christmas. But look at those temperatures. Christmas Day, 62 degrees for your high, 61 on the 26th, just the day after. So a warm Christmas indeed. We'll have colder temperatures this week and then warming right back up next week. Stick around. We'll be right back.
A man becomes a part of an icy public display when he sticks his tongue to it. And, well, you'll see. Jeremy Roth has today's. Take a look at this.
An Australia man found himself in a sticky and very public situation when eyewitnesses say he decided to lick a large ice sculpture and seemingly became stuck to it. Anyone who's seen the scenes in A Christmas Story and Dumb and Dumber already knows what happened here. But according to 7 News, the man was at the Sydney Mall walking past the giant ice sculpture, a promotional ad for an energy drink, when he decided to lick it, and the icy sign decided to stick it. Theories abounded later on social media whether this was truly an innocent accident or a, so to speak, tongue-in-cheek PR stunt. Regardless, the video showed someone attempting to free the man using some water, but everyone knows that's not the way you do it. Speaking of Dumb and Dumber, a Kentucky man was reportedly arrested twice in the span of a few days for allegedly riding a mule while intoxicated in public. Twice. According to WPSD, the Murray Police Department arrested the man on the mule for public intoxication, resisting arrest, mistreating an animal, and other charges. Then a few days later, reportedly found him riding a mule again, allegedly intoxicated again. The lesson here is simple. Any hombre trying to drink and drive, even a mule, he-aw, he always gonna run afoul of the law. Finally, we leave you with yet another weird and wild ride, this one putting a creative spin on the holiday elf on a shelf tradition. You see, it is funny because the elf is spinning. Okay, dad jokes, you get it. This one is already making the rounds on social media. Get it? Because he is going around? I can't stop. It's a sickness, really. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
I think Elf on the Shelf has to be one of the best holiday traditions for sure. Stick around. We'll be right back. Well, it's an annual event in its 32nd year in Honolulu. Children who are deaf and hearing impaired visit with a Santa that signs. Now, it's called Deaf Santa. The event also includes an opportunity for visually impaired children to meet with Saint Nick. Deaf and hearing impaired performers provided entertainment, and more than 100 children attended. And it's a sticky subject, but Tuesday today is National Maple Syrup Day. Now, maple syrup is made the xylem sap of various maple trees, and the indigenous people of North America first collected, processed, and used maple syrup. Now, the practice was later adopted by European settlers who gradually refined production methods. And fun fact, Vermont is the largest producer of maple syrup in the United States. So get some pancakes, waffles, or biscuits ready and enjoy some maple syrup on them today. What a sweet way to celebrate maple syrup.
Hey, we all love maple syrup. Can't go wrong with that. Well, our temperatures this morning pretty chilly, into the low 30s, upper 20s. So you're going to want to bundle up for that morning commute. And as the kiddos head off to class, we're still going to be in the 30s off to school. Our temperatures are going to warm up into the 50s this afternoon due to that southerly flow. Our clouds are going to slowly start to increase into this afternoon. Really, after 2 o'clock, we'll see more and more clouds, and eventually will be fully cloudy by this evening. Those southerly winds are going to begin to ramp up, so we could see wind gusts upwards of 20 miles per hour. So keeping that in mind, our temperatures aren't going to warm down too much until we get to our low tonight into the 30s. But 8 o'clock will be cloudy, and then we could see a couple of stray showers, especially if you're in those further eastern counties of the 4 states. Now, southeast Kansas, northeast Oklahoma, maybe a different story. You guys probably won't see any showers tonight, but those clouds nonetheless, and the wind tomorrow morning, you'll see that as well. Overall, your 7-day forecast, we've got that chance for rain tonight, very slim. Like I said, will be cold on Friday, 38 degrees for your high. Little chilly on Saturday and Sunday, but another chance for showers on Tuesday, on Christmas Eve, and another storm chance kind of far away that we're starting to track on Thursday of next week. That's the day after Christmas. We'll be right back.